Hi y'all, welcome back to AstroMotivation. My name is Jupiter James, where I awaken the astrologer within you and also aim to give you a little encouragement and insight and inspiration to your unique placement within your birth chart. You know, I really do feel that before a time of iPhones and iPads and I this and I that, we were a culture and a society that were better able to look up at the stars and understand exactly what the universe wanted from us. And it is with that knowledge that we were able to decipher our birth charts and understand the exact assignments that we've been given. That way we get to our dreams further and faster. And so I'm just here behind this camera and on YouTube to awaken and ignite the gift that you already have and that you already know. That way we are all able to get to our dreams further and faster. And so if that sounds good to you, let's get into it. Today we're going to get into Moon in the first house. Now, Moon in the first house is going to give me the energy of someone who is probably very nurturing to the people around them. They have a nurturing aura about them. Probably someone that is very emotional, and their emotions rule who they are and it rules their day. But before we go ahead and unpack that very deep aspect, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we are better able to understand exactly what we're getting into, and we can use that energy and those individual placements in different areas of our life. That way we're not just confined to Moon in the first house. You know, we can learn about the moon and run with the moon and do what interpretations we need to out of the moon, and then we can also interpret the first house and do more things with the first house. Okay, so as an astrologer with Moon, whenever I see Moon, the moon is the emotional fortitude of the person. For me, Moon is going to show me where this person will be comforted the most and where their emotions waver or dictate how they receive love or happiness or joy. It's also going to show me how the relationship was with their mother, depending on the sign that it is under and what the mother was focused on depending on the house that it's in. Now, and it is also going to show me, depending on the house that the moon is in, what you are emotionally comforted by and focused on, you know? Now, with the first house is your ascendant. It's all about your appearance. It's how the world sees you. It's what, when you step outside of your home, how you are perceived and percepted. You know, it's gonna show me your body, your appearance to others, your aura. And that is usually dictated by your first house or your ascendant. So remember that. Now, what happens when we throw the moon into the first house? Moon in the first house is gonna give me someone that their presence, who they are, is nurturing and healing to other people. They're gonna take on a very mothering energy. Even if they're a man or a guy, they're going to be someone that has very nurturing energy, a very healing aspect to their aura. You know, people are going to want you to take care of them or nurture them or be someone who is there to help others fix them with their problems or support them. You know, support is a big key word with this placement with Moon in the first house as far as when it comes to others. People are going to see you as someone who can be supportive emotionally and on a very energetically emotional level. Also, with Moon in the first house, you may take on the appearance of your mother. You may be someone that looks exactly like your mother, or your personality is like your mother. You yourself are also going to be connected to your mother very deeply, whether it be your relationship. You're going to be someone that is always calling your mom or needs to call your mom and ask your mom for advice or motivation or a way through a problem. You know, you're probably always on the phone back and forth with your mom. Your relationship with your mom is very true to who you are, and you probably have taken on some of the persona of your mother, whether it be your looks, your appearance, your body type. Something about you reminds people of your mom, and you more than likely look like your mom. I would bet my bottom dollar on it. With Moon in the first house, you could also be someone that is very emotional. You know, you wear your emotions on your sleeve. People can tell how you're feeling, and it's probably hard for you to hide the way you're feeling. No matter how hard you try to hide it, it's just on your face. It's in your aura. Like when you walk around and say you are going through something, people are gonna know or feel like you're going something. This is more of a feeling thing. Like people are gonna feel like something's up with you if you are going through something. People are gonna be like, is everything okay? Like, are you sure everything's fine? With this placement as well, it's gonna show me that your mother really focused on you a lot. You were probably the apple of her eye. Again, your relationship was probably very close knit and tight, so that would make sense. But believe it or not, believe it or not, moon in the first housers, a lot of people don't have moms like this. You know, a lot of people don't have mothers that focused all about them. Your mother probably sang to you, wrote and read books to you, you know. Your mother was just all about you. You were the center of her universe, and you were probably someone that she really wanted to emotionally care for and make sure that you were emotionally sound. You know, she was, this is the quintessential mama's boy, or like mama's girl placement. You guys, you and your mom are tight. You're tight, you're tight, you're tight. There's something very deep with your mother. Now, with moon in the first house, my advice to you and my encouragement to you is, you know, this could give me someone who attracts a lot of narcissist people, you know, a lot of people that are energetic vampires, because your energy is so yummy and nurturing. You could be someone that people try to hide as far as when you are in support of them, right? Maybe people don't want to give you the acknowledgement or the appropriate titles, whether it be in a job or in a romantic relationship, because people want to probably use you behind closed doors. This energy can be something that is very susceptible to people using them and people siphoning that moon energy from you. That psychic caringness that you have, that psychic intuitive nurturing that you have is very special, but at the same time, as special and as a psychic as it is something that is susceptible, because it is the moon, that people feel they need to hide it, you know? Everyone knows the sun, right? Everyone knows the sun. We know what the sun does, and we glorify the sun, and we go out and we play in the sun, and it's a very expressive, open daylight energy, right? Like, it's there, the sun can't hide. The sun is the sun. But with the moon, sometimes people can feel like you don't need the emotional caring from other people. People can feel like you don't need the acknowledgement, or you don't need the title that comes along with whatever you are giving to others, because a giving could be another key word for what you do in this life. You give and you give and you give, but the I don't want to say the curse, but the other end of that is that people can feel like, oh, I don't need to give that person the title. Oh, I don't need to let that person know that they're doing good for me. Or, you know, you could be giving girlfriend energy and people don't want to call you the girlfriend. You could be giving nurse energy and people don't want to call you the nurse. You can be giving therapist energy and people don't want to call you a therapist, because you just give it, you know, but you understand that you are valuable and you deserve the title of what you are being given out. And do not be susceptible to energetic vampires, because energetic vampires, you are like their favorite meal. A moon in the first house person is their favorite meal, because you're gonna be very caring, and the moon is very nurturing and it's unconditional, and you have that unconditional way about you that you will heal whoever is at your doorstep, and this is going to attract a lot of people who need that. So be very discerning. Just because you are very giving and you are very insightful as to what people need emotionally, that doesn't mean you need to give it out to everyone. That doesn't mean that you have to give it to everyone. Be discerning about it. Make it into a service. If people want that part of you and nothing in return, charge them for it, you know, like make it into a business. Don't just give all of your goodness away, because it is very special. And I feel that my moon in the first houses out there go through a lot where people expect a lot of psychic nurturing energy from them and they get nothing in return, because more times than not, the people that are asking for it can't give that. That's why they're asking for it, because you have a lot of it by way of your mother. Your mother gave you so much emotional intelligence that you carry yourself in a way that you don't need to put up any barriers, or you don't need to fight or defend. You just are who you are, and that's healing for a lot of people, that you're just able to show up and be who you are without judgment of others in the wake of that, you know? So really think about that and be encouraged that you are also someone that is ruled by your emotions. I want you to follow your gut. I want you to follow your emotions. If something in your gut or in your spirit says, don't go that way, don't go that way. If something in your spirit or your gut says, okay, it's time to leave this job, it's time to leave this relationship, it's time to pack up and move, do it. You know, this placement is going to be very psychic, and it's going to mean that you are ruled by your emotions with moon in the first house. It's also going to mean that you need a lot of self-care. Take care of yourself. This is why I'm encouraging you right now to not give so much away, because it also means that you need to take care of yourself. just as much as other people expect you to take care of them, okay? Because how can you take care of everyone else if you aren't taking care of you? I want you to run yourself bubble baths, go get massages, like do things for you that fill your cup up. That way, when you do get these people that you want to give energy to, you are better able to show up and be the happiest you can be. Working out would probably be very good for you to get out some of that muddled energy, that water energy that could be stale. Don't sit around too long. I know when you sit around too long, you can get very bogged down by emotions and energy and just life. And the best way to get rid of that murky energy is to go out and work out. When you work out, you move the psychic energy around, the water in you around, and you are clear. Think about it. When you have a cup and you sit water in that cup and it just sits there, bacteria gets in that cup, right? Bacteria gets in that water. So do not be idle water. You have a lot of water in the first house when you have moon in the first house. So go work out, be active. That way you will be your happiest, okay? If this sounds like you, can you let me know if this sounds like you? Can you write in the comments right now if this sounds like you? Are you someone that is very emotional and ruled by your emotions? Do you get a lot of people who expect you to help them on a psychic, emotional level? Are you someone that people feel, do you have round cheeks? Do you have round, healing cheeks that people want to pinch? You probably have a round appearance, you know. You are probably someone that, again, your aura is very healing to others, and you are a very healing figure, and you can be in probably healing professions with this placement. But if this sounds like you, let me know. Also, can you write the sign that your moon in the first house is in, and I'll write back a little tidbit on what you could be experiencing. Because for me, listen, I'm just in my home all day, researching and, you know, on the computer doing my research and following my intuition on what this could mean. But I want to know from you personally if this tracks for you. All right, like just write your sign or say yes it tracks or whatnot, and I'll write back what you could be experiencing with your specific placement, okay, with your moon in the first house. But yeah, my moon in the first house is take care of yourself. I want you to learn to take care of yourself, to put yourself before other people and other people's plans and ventures. And I also don't want you to be so forgiving and so unconditional that you overlook the harshness of this world sometimes. And people can sometimes have very mean intentions, and this is a very delicate placement because you could be so emotional that you overlook practicality, that you overlook what is actually happening. But your gut is never wrong. If your gut is saying something's wrong, okay? Don't second guess yourself. Your gut is more times than not, and you are psychic is all hell, okay? So follow it. Follow your gut, not what you perceive or you want something to be. But that was my video for Moon in the First House. I really hope that this helped you and encouraged you and brought some light to this placement. I love you, and I will see you on the next video, all right? Y'all have a great day. Bye. To Moon in the second house. Now, Moon in the second house is going to give me someone who is emotionally comforted by their family or the values that they hold true to themselves. This could also mean that someone is also very comforted by money and attaining money. But before we get into that, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we can do more with the information that we've been given. You know, that way we're not just confined to Moon in the second house. We can see the moon play out in the world and go, okay, that's giving very much moon energy. And we can see the second house playing out in the world and on television and in our friends and family, go, okay, that's second house energy. So with the moon, as an astrologer, for me, the moon is always going to give me the impression or the information of the person's emotional fortitude. It's going to show me where this person emotionally will find the most joy and comfort, and where this person emotionally will be fulfilled. It's going to also show me where and how the mother interacted with you and trained you to receive love, care, and adoration from the world. How do you receive love and care, and what is the relationship between you and your mother? That this is what the moon is going to show me, depending on where the moon is sitting and where it's pointing at. All right, now with the second house is ruled by Taurus, and it's ruled by Venus, and this is going to be under the sign of the second house, and that's going to rule money and luxury and your values, your foundation. Okay, now no matter what sign your second house may be under, I want you to always put in your mind that when you're reading a chart, that the second house, no matter what your sign is or anyone else's sign, that it's ruled by Taurus and Venus, okay? And Taurus and Venus rules money, wealth, and it rules stability. It rules foundations. And what is the foundation that we all stand on? We all stand on the fruits of our family, okay? We are all products of our family, for good or for bad. For good or for bad, we are all products and are standing on the foundations of our family. And the second house, depending on the planets and the sign that the second house is in, or that it has, is going to show me what that foundation is. What foundation of your family did you come from, and what are the values that you hold true in your present life? And it's going to show me your money situation as well, and how best you will be able to make money in this life. Now, what happens when we throw moon and we throw it into the second house? This is going to show me someone that, again, is very comforted by luxury. You are probably comforted by stability. Being stable in your life is something that is comforting for you. You have to be stable monetary wise. Now, in your mind, you're probably thinking, well, duh, doesn't everybody like money and it feels okay when they don't have money? Believe it or not, no. Like, a lot of people have their emotional comfort with just their family. They could have $0 in the bank, but as long as their family is okay, they're good. But with you, moon in the second house, or you're gonna be someone that it's all about it. Actually, you could be all about your family as well. You could be all about home, family, and you could also be about the values that your family taught you. Your values are something that, as long as your values are solid and your values are true to you, if you're staying true to your values, that is what's gonna emotionally comfort you. And then also, you are gonna be someone that is striving to seek for stability in your life, whether it's monetary or just in general. You're gonna wanna have a stable life. You're not gonna really want too much change or too much topsy-turviness in your life. You're gonna be someone that you can also have a very fluctuating money situation, because the moon is changeable. You know, the moon is the quickest luminary or the quickest planet in our solar system. And so sometimes you could have all the savings in the world, and then a day later you could look up and be like, oh my God, where the hell did all my money go? You know, this could be someone that, depending on the season, depending on the time, your money situation fluctuates, and then this messes with your mood. It messes with your insides. It messes with your emotional fortitude. You are someone that is always striving for stability, and because it's so changeable, your mood fluctuates. It's dependent on that. Depending on what's happening with your family as well, you could be someone that is always up and down and like, oh my God, what's going on? But with this placement, I'd say that, you know, you could be someone that makes money in a healing profession. You could be someone that, if you are offering emotional comfort or emotional healing, you can make a lot of money. You could be someone that, if you make people feel better, you can make a lot of money. So think about that. I'm pretty sure if you think about it right now, the job that you're in, whatever field you're in, it's something regarding making others feel better or nurturing others or something of that sort, because this is going to be looking at the for sure. You're going to be someone that makes people feel better or heals people, or maybe like a family therapist or a family something. You work in a field that makes people feel something. How about that? Yeah, like but feel better. I really want to say feel better. Yeah, if this sounds like you, can you let me know in the comments below? Are you someone that is emotionally attached to the values that you hold true to yourself? And integrity is a big thing for you. You can't sacrifice integrity. The things that you were taught as a child were probably very integrity driven, and you are someone that, if you stray too far away from that, or the values that you hold innately true to yourself, you aren't gonna feel like yourself. You're gonna feel stressed, you're gonna feel chaotic, you're gonna feel like, oh my God, I need a vacation. Like, tell me if that's you. Also, do you make your money in a healing profession of some sort? Are you someone that nurtures people or uplifts people, or you are someone that heals and you make your money through healing and offering like some type of nurturing or psychic energy in your field? Let me know if that's you. Also, while you're at it, can you let me know the sign that your moon in the second house is in, and I'll write back what you'd be experiencing with that. Because again, I'm just on YouTube and behind this camera and in my home alone researching all these things, and I'm just using my intuition on what I believe this could be. And so I really want to know if this is ringing true for you, okay? But yeah, that is my video for you. I really do hope that you got some encouragement and inspiration from that. Really try to not hold so much value to your money. Your money is one thing, but you will always be okay. You will be someone that your money goes up and it goes down, but just know that when it goes down, it's always gonna go back up, okay? Like, don't really hold so much to that. What you should, though, hold true to yourself is your emotional compass. Your emotional compass on what you know the truth is and what you feel is right and wrong in this life, or what your values are. Stay true to those things, because those things will never lead you astray, okay? And those things will probably, more times than not, your gut will point you to where the money is. Your gut will point you to where your emotions, you know, if you feel that, like, let's just say you're at a job, right? And you're at a job and you're not emotionally satisfied by that job anymore, and you're like, you know what, I need to go, like, but this job is paying you great. If you feel in your heart and in your gut and in your emotions that you're just like, ugh, I need to, like, I can't do this, leave. Follow your gut. Your gut knows where the next bag is. It knows where your next money venture is going to be, because it's psychically in tuned to where your better day is, your opportunities are. It's gonna be emotionally, intrinsically in you, and so I want you to follow that, okay? But yeah, again, I hope this helped you. I hope that it like gave you some clarity to your placements, and I will see y'all in the next video. If you want me to do another video on a unique placement within your chart that is not the moon in the second house, hit that below, like, comment, and I will, you know, make a video of that, and hopefully it will be up and running soon. But I will see y'all in the next video, all right? I love y'all. Have a great day. Bye. Moon in the third house, and now this is going to give me someone who has probably very nurturing and emotionally healing speech. You know, you are someone who, when you talk, you can heal someone. But before we go ahead and unpack that deep aspect, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we're not just confined to moon in the third house and we can only, you know, live and learn in the confines of the moon in the third house. We can do more with the knowledge if we separate it. So that way when we see moon playing out in the world, we can go, okay, that's giving moon energy. And when we see third house playing out in the world, we can go, okay, that's giving third house energy. And so we can do more with it, okay? So as an astrologer, for me, whenever I see moon in the birth chart, this is gonna give me the emotional fortitude of the person. This is gonna show me where this person will find the most emotional fulfillment in their life. Where this person, depending on where the moon is sitting and placed, where they will find their emotional nirvana, you know, or if something's going wrong in that house, they will feel off or feel emotionally not settled or unsettled. It's also going to show me their relationship with their mother, how their mother trained them to receive emotion from the world and just emotions in general. That's going to come from the mother, and your relationship from the mother is going to show me the house and the sign that the moon is in, okay? So with that, now with the third house is going to show me your speech, your communication. It's going to show me the neighborhood and the local neighborhood that you live in. It's going to show me also your siblings. Now in the third house, no matter what your respective sign on your third house may be, the third house is always going to be ruled by Mercury, and it's going to be ruled by Gemini, all right? Now Mercury in Gemini is going to be the planet and the sign of communication. You know, it's going to be the sign of your siblings. You know, Gemini is the sign of the twins, right? So siblings, it's gonna show me who you were in your family dynamic as far as you and your siblings and things like that. But it's also gonna show me the neighborhood that you're in and like your local areas that you are, like going into like your local bodega or the local Starbucks that you go to. It's gonna show me your immediate surroundings as well. And yeah, that's the third house. Now, with that being said, what happens when we throw moon into the third house? Moon in the third house is going to give me someone who is emotionally fulfilled by communication. You are someone that if you cannot express yourself, or you can't say what's on your mind, or you can't be the intellectual person that you are going to feel very emotionally off. You're going to feel very emotionally stifled. You express your emotions openly. You express your emotions very freely, and like, for anyone that is willing to listen, you will tell people how you feel. You know, you probably are someone that when you speak, you can heal people, or you are someone that like, you love to talk about emotions. You love to talk about like the secret things of life, or how people are feeling. You probably love and could be very good at subjects like mental health, because that is what literally, this is like the mental health personified. You are someone who's mental health personified. You're probably always talking about mental health, but you can also be someone like moon in the third house. You could have been a mothering figure to your siblings. You could have been someone that your mother was like, okay, you go and you help your younger siblings out. You help them out. Like, you probably took on that mothering role, or that caring, nurturing role with your siblings. And you are also someone that, again, by way of your speech, you can help heal others, and you really like to talk about emotions. This could give me someone who could be a therapist, or a psychologist, or a motivational speaker. You are able to heal by way of your words, and you are willing to listen to others' pains and worries and woes and emotions when they speak. That's something that you need, especially in relationships. Maybe I'm pretty sure you've seen that with your friends, or with your romantic partners, that if people cannot express their emotions to you, or if you aren't given the space to express your emotions or how you feel, you are going to feel very off. You're not gonna like that. You're gonna be like, I don't feel like myself. I'm gonna burst. I am going to just like, I need to express myself. I need to say what's on my mind. I need to. And if you don't, it's like you are going to be off. You will never ever put yourself in a situation where you can't speak up. Now, depending on the placements and other signs that may be in your third house that could be affecting this, that could also waver and kind of vary. But this is a general, just solid moon and third house video, and so this is going to give you aspects and flavors and layers of that. Okay, you're going to be someone that really needs to communicate, and that would be my biggest advice to you, is that if you ever feel emotionally unfulfilled, I would really recommend that you just maybe write. Maybe writing could help you. You know, you could be someone that would be a very good writer. Like, a diary would help you, a journal would help you, something where you can jot your feelings down. If you have no one to talk to, or if you don't have any friends to talk to about how you're feeling, I want you to write those things down. You could be, again, a really good writer, probably a really good singer, a good therapist, a good nurse, someone who, by the way of your words, you heal. And that could be anything. That could be singing, that could be writing, that could be you heal others and you heal yourself. You know, by you speaking and expressing yourself, you are able to maybe open up the space for others to do the same, and in that way the friendships that you have and the people that you are around feel nurturing for you, and you are nurturing for others, because you give that space, you give that that atmosphere of, hey, you can tell me anything, you can let me know. You are probably people that really want to tell, people probably really want to tell you their secrets or their problems a lot. If this sounds like you, let me know, you know. Also, while you're at it, can you let me know? Also, wait. Also, with your mom was also like this as well. Your mom, not only did she probably say, hey, take care of your younger siblings and be a Suedo mom to them, you were also someone that with your mom, she was like a sibling to you. She was also very like, she wanted you to express yourself, and she would say, baby, I want you to tell me how you're feeling. I want you to let me know what's on your mind. She probably valued the intellectual part of you. You are probably someone who is very smart or very intellectual, or you probably are very good in your communication. Your mother really wanted to foster that out of you. She really wanted to bring that out of you and say, hey, speak up. Hey, tell me what's on your mind. Hey, let me know how you're feeling. And now when you go out into the world, you expect that from other people. If other people aren't allowing you to express yourself or say what's on your mind or be intellectual, you're like, I feel off here. I gotta go. Y'all are making me feel real off. I'm literally gonna unalive myself if I can't express myself. But yeah, if this sounds like you, let me know. If this sounds like you, while you're at it, can you let me know the sign that your moon is in the 3rd house, and I'll write back to you what you could be experiencing with that, all right? That would help me kind of zoom in and really pinpoint what you could be experiencing, because again, this is a general video, and if you really want that, you know, pinpoint analysis, just write down and I'll let you know what you could be experiencing with that, your unique placement. But yeah, I really do hope that this video helped you and inspired you. My biggest advice to you is just to really find an outlet to express your emotions, especially when it comes to using your voice. Your voice can be very healing for others, and you can be a sense of great solace for others, because believe it or not, as big as mental health and things that are being talked about in this world, when we go out on the street or we're out at a party, sometimes, most times, people don't want to talk about that, and you can be the very person that people need in order to speak about what's on their heart and in their mind, you know? So don't run away from that placement, really own that placement, and it will do you very well in this life, okay? I will see y'all in the next video, and I will catch y'all later. Bye. Into moon in the 4th house. Now, moon in the 4th house is going to give me the energy of someone who would be a very great mother and has very great mothering energy. You are also someone that probably keeps your emotions private. But before we go ahead and unpack that deep aspect and really dive deep into that, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we are better able to understand exactly like what more we can do with the placements, you know? That way we're not just confined to moon in the 4th house. We can see moon playing out in the world and go, okay, that's the moon energy playing out. And we can see 4th house playing out in the world and go, okay, that's giving very much 4th house energy, you know? That way we can do more with the knowledge. Now, as an astrologer, for me, whenever I see moon in the birth chart, this is going to show me the emotional fortitude of the person. It's going to show me where this person will be the most emotionally fulfilled and where this person finds emotional comfort. It's going to show me, depending on where the moon is sitting in and sitting under, it's going to show me you know, the relationship that the person has with their mother and how their mother probably trained them to receive emotions. But yeah, that's what the moon is. It's all about your emotions. It's all about your emotional fortitude and the feelings inside. You know, if I really wanted to get to the core of a person, I would go, let me find the moon. Where if I wanted to jive with a person, I'd look at the moon. Where's this person's emotional fortitude and their emotional fulfillment going to be satisfied in this life? Where is it aiming at? What is the flavor of it? All right. Now, with the 4th house is going to always, no matter what your respective sign in your 4th house is going to be, the underlying original out of the package birth chart is always going to be Cancer ruling the 4th house, okay? Cancer and the moon rules the 4th house. And this is the energy of home, family, specifically your mother. It's also going to show me your private life, who you are outside of work. When you clock out of work and you go home, this is the energy of your home or your apartment. When you open the door to your apartment and the routines you have behind closed doors, that's what this house is going to show. Again, it's also going to show me who your mother was as well, how she was towards you, and what the flavor of your mother was with you, okay? So when we take moon and we throw it in the 4th house, what do we get? This moon is going to be at home in the 4th house. So this sign is going to be someone that, although you are very emotional and you are very nurturing, you probably are very discerning on who you give those emotions to. You are going to pick and choose the appropriate time and the appropriate place when you are nurturing to others. You know, you probably are only nurturing to your friends and family. You are probably only nurturing or caring or overly giving to people that earn that from you. But you are going to keep that your emotions to yourself. You're going to keep those, your emotions come out at home. You know, you could be someone that outside people don't really know how you feel. You know, you could probably be in a profession where your emotions are overlooked or not needed necessarily. And even though things could come up in your day-to-day life outside and in your work and in your career, you probably have to keep that very cavalier. You probably have to have a poker face in your job, right? And so when you go home, this is where you unload. This is where you are emotionally comforted. You are emotionally comforted when you go home. When you go home, I bet you are just yearning to go home. You're just like, ugh, if I could just get off this job and go home. I just want to be at home. I want to be under my bed, not under my bed. I want to be under my covers. I want to be watching my Netflix. I just want to be in the comfort of my home. Your home is very healing and nurturing for you. It's your safe space. It's your safe haven. If something is going wrong at home, or say you walked outside of your home and you forgot to clean your home, or you forgot to make the bed, you're gonna feel emotionally off when you go outside. If there's something going on at home, like say there is I don't know, your dryer is broken or something like that, and you go out and you probably try to have drinks with the girls or drinks with the guys, you're gonna feel like, oh, I really need to fix that dryer. I really need to fix that washer. I really need to clean that dust out of that thing, because your home is, you are emotionally tied to your home. You are probably also emotionally tied to your mother. There is a big karmic thing with this placement when it comes to your mother. Your mother was probably very emotional with you, and she was also someone that probably she was probably emotionally caring. There's a big relationship between you and your mother, and I think, if I am correct, she was very emotional. She was a very emotional figure for you. She was probably also very healing for you. You are also going to be a very good mother. Even if you are a man, you are going to have very mothering qualities to you. Your mother was probably the quintessential mother, as far as she was very nurturing. She was very healing. Your mother is a very healing force for you. You know, I'd say the thing that would make you happy is if you go home and you call up your mom. If you can go home and call your mom at the same time and maybe unload your feelings and let your mom know what's going on, oh, you would just feel like, okay, now I hit the reset button on my emotions. I feel better. I can carry along with my duties and my day. But it's funny, because when you are out in the world, people don't know that you're this emotional. When you are out in the world, you probably try to keep things light and fun and la la la, but you are an emotional person. You just pick and choose the appropriate time when those emotions come out, and more times than not, your emotions don't come out unless you feel safe or behind closed doors with friends and family, you know. And you would be surprised at how you would probably think, oh my god, wait, isn't that everyone? No, some people wait until they're with their friends to let their emotions out. People wait till they're at their job to let their emotions out and their feelings about how they're feeling in the world out, and they are not emotionally comforted by their home. You have an emotional attachment to your home, your family, and your home in general, like your apartment. Even if you live outside of the home you grew up in, you are emotionally attached to your home as an adult, and you are attached to the home that you grew up in. You are emotionally attached to the mother, your home, and just that feeling of home and safety and your private life. You know, you probably really want to cultivate, my best advice to you is to try to find a good self-care routine in your private life. Try to maybe go get massages, go get your nails or your hair done, or do something for you in your daily life away from others that heals you. You know, probably take Epsom salt baths at home. Do something that when you feel off, go home, recharge, light a candle, just turn off your phone and just stay to yourself, and that is going to emotionally fulfill you and emotionally heal you. And you, more times than not, I'm probably sure you've seen that it does. So yeah, if this sounds like you, can you let me know if this sounds like you? Also, while you're at it, can you let me know the sign that your moon in the 4th house is in? Because this is a general video, you know, and depending on the sign that your moon in the 4th house in, this could kind of waver and vary a little bit for different people. So if you tell me the sign that your moon in the 4th house is in, I could write back to you on what you could be experiencing with your moon in the 4th house. But if this sounds like you, let me know, you know, because I'm just behind my computer and behind this camera talking away and yapping and just like being intuitive and whatnot, and trying to channel these things for you guys. And I just want to know if these things ring true for you. But yeah, I really do hope that you got some inspiration and encouragement from this video, from this placement. I think I've given you all the advice that I could give you with this placement as far as what could emotionally be fulfilling to you. It's all about your home. A stable home life is key for you. You need any arguments that you have at home, try to squash those arguments before you walk outside, because it's going to be very hard for you to focus on your day-to-day routines or on your career if there are fights that are happening at home. Again, your home is your sanctuary. Your home is where the beginning of your emotions start, and it is the beginning of your emotional fulfillment. So if everything's right at home, everything's right at home. Yeah? Okay. Well, I love y'all. Y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all in the next video. If you want me to do another video on a different placement in your chart, write it down below and I'll get that video up and running for you, okay? Y'all have a good one. Bye. To Moon in the 5th house. Now, Moon in the 5th house is going to give me someone who is emotionally fulfilled when they are out on the town and having fun. You are going to be someone that is also emotionally fulfilled by being in romantic relationships and dating and having dates lined up. But before we unpack that deep aspect, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we're not confined to just Moon in the 5th house. You know, if we really want to get into reading charts and understanding the language of the universe, we have to be able to separate each aspect and learn each one. And the best way to do that is to learn about yourself. But that way when we see Moon playing out in the world, we can go, okay, that's giving Moon energy. And then when we see the 5th house playing out, we can go, okay, that's giving very much 5th house energy, you know? So with Moon, as an astrologer, for me, the Moon is always going to show me the emotional fortitude of the person. It's going to show me where this person is going to be emotionally fulfilled, where this person is looking for emotional fulfillment. What area of life is this person looking for emotional fulfillment? It's going to show me how this person is comforted or finds comfort. It's also going to show me the relationship between you and your mother, how your mother trained you and the style and the flavor that she trained you to receive emotions, and how now you express your emotions. That's going to come from your relationship with your mother. And the Moon is going to show me this depending on where the Moon is placed at and where it's sitting under within your birth chart, okay? So yeah, now with the 5th house is the fun house. You know, this is where things get fun and interesting. This is the house in our chart where we all love. It's all about relationships, as far as like your dating life and you going out on the town and you calling up your friends. And like when I think of 5th house, I just think of like I'm calling up the guys, I'm calling up the girls, and we're pre-gaming and we're getting ready and we're about to go out on the town and we're about to have a night. Like that's 5th house energy. 5th house energy is ruled by Leo and the sun. You know, this is the fun, joyful aspect of our chart. It's the things that we like to do in our life. It's our hobbies, our creativity, our dating life, and the romantic partners that we love to seek after and go after. And the flavor in which our dating life will take place, okay? So what happens when we throw Moon into the 5th house? Moon in the 5th house is going to mean that you are emotionally fulfilled and emotionally seeking comfort in the area of fun and going out and having fun with the friends. You love a good night out. If you ever want to blow off steam, you just need a night out. Go out, have some drinks with the girls, have some drinks with the guys, and you are a-okay. Like that for you is where you find emotional fulfillment. You also find emotional fulfillment in showcasing your creativity, in creating something, by you creating something and showcasing it, whether it be whatever your hobby it is. It could be singing, acting, dancing, whatever that emotional attachment to your creativity is. By you showcasing it and doing it and cultivating it and focusing on it, that brings you emotional fulfillment. You feel very emotionally connected to the things you want to create in this life and your hobbies and your interests. You are very emotionally connected to the nights that you want to go out and have, or the dates that you want. Another thing as well is that you are also emotionally fulfilled by going on dates and keeping up a good romantic life. Like if I'm sure you are probably someone that you just get comfort when you get a Tinder notification. When you get a Tinder or Hinge notification, or there's a date lined up, you're like, oh, okay, everything's all right in my world. I'm good. No, everything's good. I got a date lined up on Friday. No, I got a date lined up on Saturday. What do you mean? Like everything's good. I'm living. I'm peachy. You know, you are someone that is emotionally fulfilled by a good dating life. Now, when you are in relationships, or when you are in relationships, you are going to want things between you and that partner to be very emotional, and you're going to want to be very deep and emotionally healing with that person. You are also going to go after people who have mothering energy. This gives me the energy of a guy that probably likes to date people that remind him of his mom, you know, or vice versa. You're gonna be a girl that goes after guys that give you a sense of family or protection about them, especially when it comes to your emotions. You are going to want to only go after people who can get on that level of emotional safety with you. If you feel that you can be emotionally safe with the person that you're dating, that's the one for you. That's the people that you're gonna seek out. And you're also going to, now, your 5th house with the moon in it is also gonna fluctuate. You know, sometimes you'll notice that some days your friends and the people that you always go out with, they're like, no, we don't wanna go out. No, we're good. And it's gonna be a season or 2 or 3 weeks where they don't want to go out, and you're like, oh my god, wait, why do my friends not want to go out? Like, what's going on? Like, my dating life is so stale. What's going on? Like, nobody wants to date me. Like, and then there's other times where you're going out and you're always out, and it's just like you don't even know your name from your shoe, and you're just like, what is going on? Because I'm always out. I've got dates lined up. The friends want to go out. We're going out. We're having drinks. We're having fun. We're doing this. We're doing that. And it's up and down, right? Because that can waver. Like, the moon is the fastest luminary within our solar system, and so sometimes you are going to feel like things are picking up and everything's okay, and like you're getting a lot of suitors, you're getting a lot of potential love partners that want to date you, and you're getting a lot of these things, and you're getting a lot of creative insights that you feel very creatively charged for, and that you want to showcase and bring to the table, and you feel very creative and very artistic. And then there are other times, just as quick, it could be from week to week, literally, that then all of a sudden nothing, it's dry. It's like you couldn't pay somebody to go on a date with you. You're just like, wait, what is going on? Like, just last week everybody was trying to go on a date with me, and now this week nobody wants to even go out or have fun. What is that about? Like, it's just, it wavers, you know. It's up and down. It's really up and down, and it's on the end of each spectrum. It's never gonna just be like in the middle. It's either it's always up or it's just really down, and it wavers from week to week, season to season. And that's just because the moon is a very wavering energy. It's like the tides of the ocean. It goes up and down, and that's what the moon rules, the tides of the ocean. But I would say with this placement, you could be someone that, by way of your creativity, right, by way of you showing your artistry, by way of you giving your fun, you could be someone that, by you just having fun, you could be very nurturing for other people. I'm sure when you're out, your friends say, oh my god, you're just such a healing presence for us. Like, you just make us feel so good. You could be the best host. You could be somebody that, when you are having fun, because you feel so good, you pass that feel good energy to others, and people just feel good in your aura and in your wake. By way of your creativity and the artistry that you bring, you could heal others emotionally. You could uplift people. You could be someone that, when you show the thing that you show, whether it be your singing or your art or the book that you wrote or the YouTube video that you created, you could be someone that, when you showcase it, people go, oh my god, wow, that really helped me through a really hard time. Wow, that really, you saw into the depths of my emotions, and that really helped me. That really helped me. You know, you could really help and support by way of your creativity. You could be very creative in the way that you help people. This could give me someone like a school teacher, right? You could be a school teacher by you having fun in your classroom, right? Your kids come to you and they say, oh my god, like, I learned so well because you just want to have fun. Like, when you have fun, I'm able to receive these things, and by you having fun with us, Mr. or Mrs. whatever your last name is as a school teacher, by that way I feel seen, I feel heard in your classroom. You emotionally fulfill me. You could have children that are going to be very attracted to your energy, that are very your children are going to be people who are also like that. They're going to be very nurturing for others. But yeah, I would really recommend going into a field or doing something where your creativity that heals and nurtures other people And yeah, if this sounds like you, can you let me know if this sounds like you? Write down below if any of this is resonating for you. If it does, can you write down the sign that your moon in the 5th house is in, okay? Because remember, this is a general video and everything may not land. And so if you want like me to really key into what you could be experiencing, write down the sign that your moon in the 5th house is in, and I'll write back what you could be experiencing with the moon in the 5th house, okay? But also check in my descriptions from time to time, you know, because there's no way possible that I could get all of my channeling and all of my insights to these placements. And sometimes I'll cut off these videos, right? I'll cut off these videos, and just as quick as I cut off the video and inside, I'll go, oh my God, that was moon in the 5th house. Yes, why couldn't I channel that during the video? And it's just because that's just the way life is. You know, there's no way that I can get all of the information of moon in the 5th house in this little, you know, 12, 13 minute video. There's just no way possible. But check in my descriptions, because what I like to do is I'll put in my descriptions, you know, I'll update what you could be experiencing with this placement as these things come to me over time. And yeah, if you would also like me to do a different placement within your chart, just let me know and I will get that up and running for you. But I really do hope that this video gave you some clarity and some insight and some encouragement into your unique placement. You know, with moon in the 5th house, you could be someone that really helps people on an emotional level by way of you just having fun and showcasing your creative talents and your gifts and you just expressing yourself. So really lean into that. Really lean into that. All you got to do is have fun, and you can be a very big healing force for others. And yeah, lean into your creativity, because that can also emotionally fulfill you in this life. And don't be afraid to show the things that you have, because with moon here, sometimes although you are emotionally connected to these things, you may want to keep these things hidden. You may want to keep these things to yourself, whether it be your artistry or the things you like or the things you create. You may want to keep these things hidden, but try to give them, because when you do give them away, you'll see that, wow, people are very comforted by it, just as you are comforted by it. And you will be someone that people clap for and go, oh my God, thank you for showing me this. Like that painting that you made really just helped me out of a dark time. That song you wrote really helped me out of a dark time. So yeah, I will see y'all in the next video, and I hope y'all have a great day. Love you. Bye. We're gonna get into moon in the 6th house. Now, moon in the 6th house is gonna give me someone who is emotionally attached to their day-to-day schedules. You are gonna be very emotionally attached to the service that you give within your industry and in your career. And you are also gonna be someone who is emotionally attached to your health and your diet routine and your fitness. But before we go ahead and really dive deep into that aspect, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we are better able to understand what exactly is going on, okay? That way we're not just confined to moon in the 6th house. You know, when we see moon playing out in the world, we can go, okay, that's giving moon energy. And when we see 6th house playing out in the world, we can go, okay, that's 6th house playing in the world. And that way we can do more with the aspects in different areas of our lives and our birth charts and in life, okay? So with the moon, as an astrologer, the moon is always going to show me the emotional fortitude of the person. It's going to show me where this person will be emotionally fulfilled, where this person finds emotional fulfillment, and depending on the state of that area of their life, depending on if things are going good or bad, it will depend on if their emotions are good or bad, okay? It's also gonna show me the relationship with their mother, how their mother trained them to receive love and care and just relationships and emotional relationships in general, and how to express their emotions more than not, okay? It's also gonna show me where things can kind of fluctuate, where things can kind of go up and down sometimes, because the moon is the quickest luminary within our birth chart. And so wherever this is, things can go up and down in that area, all right? So with the 6th house is always going to be ruled by Virgo and Mercury, okay? Now, no matter what your respective sign on your 6th house may be, depending, because we all have different rising signs, and that's gonna dictate what your sign on the 6th house is gonna be, the default out of the packaging birth chart is always going to be ruled by Mercury and Virgo, okay? And Mercury and Virgo in the 6th house is gonna give themes of your day-to-day routine, your schedules, your health and your fitness, and the service that you give in an industry. You know, it's gonna give me the flavor. No matter what your industry may be, the 6th house is gonna show me the flavor that you carry in the service that you give. You know, we no matter, you could be, look, you could be a waiter, a firefighter, and or a actress, but the way you approach being those three things in the scope of your life is going to be under a same flavor, okay? And that's going to be the sixth house. That's what the sign in the sixth house is going to show you, is what is the flavor of service that you give across all fields, across just your day-to-day in general. Who are you when you show up and you say, hey, I'm here to work? How do you approach that work, okay? So with that being said, now with moon in the sixth house, moon in the sixth house is going to give me the energy of somebody who is emotionally very attached to their day-to-day schedules. If you do not check off all the things that you have in your day that you need to do, you are going to be up all night. You are going to be somebody that's like, oh my God, I cannot sleep, I cannot think, I cannot eat until I get all of these things done during my day. You are emotionally comforted by being successful within your day or keeping up a good health and fitness routine. You are going to really be attached to the things that you eat. You know, if you eat very poorly or you eat very carelessly, you're gonna feel that. You are gonna sometimes teeter on the hypochondriac scale of like, oh my God, I ate something, I'm getting chills. Oh my God, I ate something, my stomach hurts, take me to the doctor. I knew I shouldn't have eaten that bagel. I knew it. Like, you're gonna be like that. You're gonna be very just all about perfecting your diet and perfecting your day. You're gonna be someone that really aims to serve others as well and organize other people's situations. You are going to sometimes not really know how you feel, and what you do know is that you feel better when you are up on the things you know you are supposed to do during your day. You're supposed to get up, you're supposed to clean, you're supposed to eat well, you're supposed to have an hour of meditation, you're supposed to go and work out. You then come home, you wash your clothes, you make sure that your schedule is ready, you go and you report to work. You know, you don't know how you feel, but you know you feel better when you are attacking your day and the things you're supposed to do within a day as a human being. You're gonna feel good. You're gonna feel emotionally fulfilled. You're gonna say, okay, I feel good. What do you mean? I'm killing it. Like, I've done everything I needed to do during my day. I'm good. How are you? Like, and you are also gonna be someone that you feel emotionally fulfilled when you are able to give service to others, when you are able to help others with their day-to-day schedules and their day-to-day routines and their health and their fitness. You feel good. You could also be someone that can be in a very healing profession. You could be a nurse, you could be a doctor, you could be someone like a life coach or a fitness professional, someone who aims to take a problem within someone's day and organize it, or show people, okay, you don't eat this and you wake up at this hour and you will feel better like this. Let's get your body, let's get your mind right. Let's get, like, when you give that service to others and you take that quality of, you could be very practical and sometimes borderline like OCD, right? And when you are able to give that quality of yourself to others and help others within their day be organized or be successful at their day, then you feel emotionally fulfilled. You're like, okay, yes, like, that's how I want to feel. I want to be able to help people and show people how to be successful at their day and in what they do. Now, with moon here in the sixth house, this is also going to show me that the relationship with your mother was your mother probably expected perfection from you. You know, she probably expected you to do all the things that I'm saying. She was like, you go to school, you get good grades, you clean your room, you do your chores. You were someone that she really wanted you to do things right and do things perfectly. She really wanted you to do things perfectly. And if you didn't do things perfectly, she was upset with you. She was probably someone that was not very emotional with you. You know, she was someone that you really had to show her, I'm up on my chores. And if you were up on your chores, then you knew, okay, I'm good with my mom, everything's okay. She probably served the household and she was someone who cooked, she cleaned, but she wasn't very emotional with you. She was probably very practical with you. She was like, did you do your homework? All right, did you clean your room? Okay, all right. That's very good. You see what but she wasn't very emotional with you. She was never asking you how do you feel or what's going on, or not too much. It was just like you knew you had to win her approval by doing your chores and being someone that was up on your schedule. You could not be lazy in her house. But yeah, if this sounds like you, let me know in the comments below. Are you someone that, you know, had a mother who was very practical with you and just wanted you to do the chores, and if you did the chores you were in good standing in her eyes? And if you are also someone that, are you someone that is emotionally attached to the service that you want to give people? You know, no matter what your sign may be, I do know is that you want to give and you want to heal and you want to help people, and because you get emotional fulfillment out of that by you being able to be a force of healing for others and help for others in some shape or form, that emotionally satisfies you. And if you are also in your career someone that your bosses see that is good and that is an asset in the way of you being very helpful, oh, you'll be the happiest ever. Is that you? Let me know if that's you in the comments below, and also go ahead and put down what sign your Virgo moon in the 6th house is. Your Virgo moon in the 6th house. Write down what your moon in the 6th house could be, okay? And I will write down what you could be experiencing with that moon in the 6th house placement, what the sign is that is under, okay? But yeah, because this is a general video and I feel like, you know, this could be very general and some things may land and some things may not, but what would help pinpoint that is the sign. And so if you tell me that, I can write down in the comments what you could be experiencing with that particular sign, okay? But my biggest advice to you with this sign is continue to be someone that offers help and offers healing and offers service to others, because it will be by way of you offering that thing that only you can give, and organizing people's problems and taking problems and kind of fixing their situations that only you can give, you know, and it will help people, and in turn it will help you, because I know sometimes for you, you may feel a little like, I don't know how I feel, I don't know, without latching on to others and saying, let me help you, sometimes you may not know how you feel, because a lot of your emotional fortitude and sanity is in helping others, you know. But what if there are no other people to help? What if there are people who don't want your help? Then what? I want you to be able to rest easy at night knowing that you still have value and that you still have a place in this world, and you are not overlooked or unseen, and that you are seen. And don't feel too bad about that. You know, sometimes there's gonna be moments where people do need your help and need your advice, and there's gonna be moments where they don't. You know, with this moon in the 6th house, it's gonna be moments where you've got nobody to help. You've got nobody wants your insights or your advice, and you're just gonna have to sit with yourself and be okay with that, and still know that you are of value and that you are still needed and you are still worthy of connection without having to organize or help people's situations, you know. But with this placement, I'd say it is a soul of someone who really does want to help people, and that is where your magic is. So continue to be that, continue to show up as that force in life, and you will always be okay. All right, I will see you on the next video. If you want me to do another video regarding a placement within your chart, let me know and I will get that up and going for you. But until next time, I will see y'all in the next one. All right, y'all have a great one. Bye. Moon in the 7th house. Now, moon in the 7th house is going to give me someone whose emotional fortitude is very centered around their relationships with other people and how other people feel about them. And depending on if their relationships are going good in life, they will feel good or not. But before we go ahead and unpack and dive very deep into that aspect, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we can do more with the individual knowledge that we've been given in different areas of our life and in different areas of the birth chart, okay? So as an astrologer, moon for me is always going to show me where the emotional fortitude of a person is. It's going to show me where that person's emotional joy, comfort, happiness, sadness is centered around. It's going to show me what would make that person happy and who they are at their core. You know, what are they searching for or yearning for? What is their heart's truest desire, you know, and how do they love to be comforted, and what are they made happiest by? And that's going to show me where in the chart, where it's sitting in, and what sign it's under. It's also going to show me the relationship between you and your mother. What was the dynamic between you and your mother? How did your mother nurture you and care for you and lick your wounds, so to speak, you know? And then by way of that, you now go out into the world and you kind of indirectly, without you knowing, you take on what your mother showed you how to relate to others in the world through the way she treated you. So it will show me that dynamic. With the seventh house now, no matter what ruler of your seventh house may be, no matter what sign that your seventh house may be in, because that always changes depending on the person's rising sign, the default out of the packaging birth chart is always going to be ruled by Libra and Venus, okay? So Venus and Libra rules the seventh house, and this is going to give themes of relationship and marriage and love and partnerships. You know, whenever I think about the seventh house, I always think about this. The handhold emoji, you know, on the iPhones with the handhold emoji. That's what the seventh house is about. It's all about, you know, relationships and reaching out, and how are you in your one-to-one relationships? How do you relate with the world? And what are the marriage partners that you will take seriously in this life and that you will eventually marry to? Yeah, so what happens when we take Moon and we throw it into the seventh house? Now, Moon in the seventh house is going to give me someone who, again, they are all about the other, okay? They find their emotional comfort in their world. If everyone likes them and everything is okay and no one is mad at them or no one's upset with them, then they are okay. They're easy peasy. If there are no problems to solve with other people, because they can kind of take on other people's problems. They can be the type of people that everything is okay in their world, but the minute that they've heard something wrong about someone else, they've taken on that energy and like, that's not right, that's not okay, like, this isn't right, that's not okay. And it's like, but your life is fine. Your life is okay. What are you upset about? Why are you... It's because they want to solve and fix other people's problems. They get very caught up in other people's problems very easily, because this is how they are emotionally comforted. It is by them solving the problems of others that they feel really good about themselves, or they just feel comforted, right? And they will also be people that if they are not in a relationship, they are gonna feel a little off. They're gonna maybe be a little bit melancholy or just a little bit content. What would make this person the happiest is marriage, is being in love, is being in a relationship. They really want to be someone who ultimately is in love and has a lot of friends and has people around them, and everyone is peaceful and loving and everyone is doing the right thing. But that's not the reality. Most times, more times than not, if the universe be universe, and like I know the universe to universe, they are going to be put in situations where they are always experiencing people doing the wrong thing or not being fair, or people kind of giving them the short end of the stick, or they are going to be people that, you know, always find themselves engulfed in other people's problems that they need to fix. If the universe is universe, and like the universe be universe, and this is what happens. And if you were to ask anyone that did not have Moon in the seventh house, they'd go, I don't get into other people's problems. No, I don't really care to get into other people's problems. That's not my job, right? But a Moon in the seventh house, if you ask a Moon in the seventh house, so what's going on with your friends? Oh, they will tell you all day what's going on with their friends, what they need to do better, what they need to do right. Oh, this is wrong. They if they just knew this, it's because this is where their emotional fortitude is. This is where they are. They are all about the other. They just want to insert themselves into other people's lives and fix their problems or give them advice or nurture people. They're very good nurturers. This is a really good placement for people who can heal others or offer very mothering advice to other people, or can be people who heal other people as well with that placement. But for my Moon in the seventh house, does this sound like you? Are you someone that, you know, you want to be in relationship, you want to be in love, you want to be in marriage? You know, nothing would make you happier than to have a peaceful, loving marriage that you can nurture and heal your partner, and your partner can nurture and heal you. you probably are also someone that with your friends, you're a very nurturing presence with your friends, and you're a nurturing presence to people around you. The people around you see you and feel that you have advice and you want to give advice, and you could be a motivator to other people, and you can be an indirect inspiration to people as well. But if this is you, write down in the comments if this is you. I really want to know. And while you're at it, can you let me know the sign that your moon in the 7th house is in? Because then that would better able to zoom in, and I could write back to you on what you could be experiencing with your specific moon in the 7th house. Because remember, these are general videos, and I am trying to channel for the masses, and there's no way that I'm gonna hit the nail on the head for every single person in the world. So let's help each other out. Go ahead and write down what your moon in the 7th house is, and I'll just write back what you could be experiencing with that placement, okay? But in a general sense, this is across the board what these people are gonna be experiencing. They're gonna experience conflict. They're gonna experience people not really caring, but it's not that people don't care. It's not that people are trying to do wrong. It's just that you are going to be extremely fine-tuned and focused on what people are doing wrong. You're gonna be fine-tuned and focused on relationships and being in relationship, and oh, I gotta go help, I gotta go do this, I gotta, oh, my friend, you see what I'm saying? Other people, they're just like, if it comes, it comes, if it doesn't, it doesn't, it does, you know, their moon is going to be elsewhere. Their moon is going to be elsewhere. They're not going to be so fine-tuned on other people like you are. You're going to be very sensitive to the problems and the worries of other people, and you're going to try to insert yourself into their worlds to help them or fix them, or, you know, be of assistance in some way, or give your advice or give your 2 cents. And when those things don't happen, when people give you flack, or when things don't go or pan out the way that you wanted, or a relationship frizzles or it fries, it messes with your emotional fortitude. Now with the moon here, this can go up and down. There can be moments and seasons where everything is great, where you could have relationships and friendships and romantic partnerships where everything is great. Everyone is doing the thing that you dream of. Everyone's getting along. Everyone's doing right by others. Everyone is being fair. But then all of a sudden, at the drop of a hat, it just turns, right? That's because the moon is the quickest luminary within our solar system, and wherever the moon is, it's going to fluctuate very quickly, like the tides of the ocean. And what rules the tides of the ocean? The moon. So things are going to fluctuate in this area. There are going to be times where you are everyone's favorite, and then there's going to be times where nobody wants to talk to you. There's going to be times when everyone wants to get along with you, and then there's going to be times where, like, wait, like, what's going on? Like, what did I do? Or what is going on? But that's because moon is in the 7th house. You're also going to be someone that when you get into relationships, or you seek after the people that you seek after, you're going to be attracted to people who are emotionally sensitive to you, who consider your feelings. You're going to want to be around people, and you're going to want to have friendships of people who are emotionally sensitive, who are people who consider your feelings and put you first, or put, you know, themselves, they want things to be equal in the relationship. You're gonna want to attract people like that, and you will. What else? With moon in the 7th house, you probably also had a mother who was the same way. You probably had a mother who was all about the other, was probably always very social, probably always out, had a lot of people over their home, and she was probably like that with you. Very graceful, very beautiful. She probably was very elegant and carried herself with grace, your mother. Your mother was also someone who really just wanted to be fair with you, as far as like, what if you get a piece of pie, the sister gets a piece of pie, and your other brother gets a piece of pie, and each piece of pie is going to be equal. Now, this will change and vary with the sign that is in your 7th house. But with moon in the 7th house, I would just say that with this relationship with your mother, it was very tit for tat. You know, I'd say that she was probably a very graceful person. I'd know more of the moon, the sign that your moon is in will tell me a little bit more with this placement, because with Moon in the 7th, it's very general. It's just all about relationships. It's just gonna mean that you probably had a lot of mothers, you know, with this placement, because this is the public. This is like, this gives me someone who could have been in foster care, you know, like, because with Moon in the 7th house, this is the public. This is a lot of people. This is when you go out, you relate with everyone. And so you could have been someone who had a mother that was very like, the public mothered you, or you were just someone where your mom was very social and out being social, and or you were someone who was probably in foster care, because this is a public sector. This is a public sector, and so your mothering energy is in a public sector. And so if you could put 2 and 2 together, that for me, my intuition speaks to foster care, some way, shape, or form. But I would know more if you gave me the sign. You know, give me this sign and I would really know more. But if this sounds like you, let me know. My Moon in the 7th house is my astro motivation for you today. My advice, my inspiration and encouragement for you today would be to really try to find your center. You know, find out what you like. Find the routines and the things and the hobbies that you like, and try not to put so much emotional value in your relationships with others. You know, really, again, the universe is a funny thing that it gives us the thing that we are supposed to use and work against, and we need to balance out. And that's why I said in the beginning of the video, if the universe is universin, like the universe be universin, you have this placement because you need to learn to see yourself and consider yourself and your feelings, and put your feelings and who you are first before others. You are probably someone who is so adamant and probably so giving and probably wants to be that person that inserts themselves in other people's lives and helps people and heals people. You're probably the perfect person for it. But the universe is a funny thing that it gives you a power, but it wants you to express it on yourself first. When you do it for yourself first, the universe wants to experience itself first. And so even though you have these things, even though you are able to give these things to others and heal other people and give the perfect advice to other people, sometimes you're gonna run into flack. Sometimes you're gonna run into people who don't need your help right now, or don't really need that right now. And that is your indicator to give it to yourself, to go home, find your hobbies, find what interests you, find what you love, find what the things that you like, and those things then will comfort you, and in turn you will begin to be able to be discerning of the appropriate times when your help is needed, when your emotional nurturing is needed, when it is time for you to be in relationship. But it starts with you first. So and know that you are valuable without the opinions and the relationships that you desire, because in this world, relationships are very tough. It's tough for everybody, but for you specifically, you hold a lot of that in your heart, as far as like, you know, if I'm not in a relationship, I'm not good enough, or if my friends are mad at me, or if this person's mad at me, or if this one doesn't like me. Don't worry about that. Worry about the people that do love you, that do care about you. Keep those people close, rock with you. Try to find the hobbies and the interests that you like. And by way of that, I promise you things will get better, and you will be able to discern when the appropriate time, place, and people that are deserving of that amazing, nurturing, caring energy that you have. Yeah, well, I really do hope that this gave you some encouragement and some inspiration today, and I will catch y'all in the next video, all right? If you have a specific placement that you want me to cover and motivate you on, go ahead and write that in my comments below, and I will put that a part of my queue as a video that I should make for you, okay? Well, y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all on the next one. Bye. Moon in the 8th house. Now, this is gonna give me someone who has very deep psychic energy. You know, you're gonna be someone who wants to heal others and heal yourself on a very deep transformative level. But before we go ahead and get into that and we unpack those aspects, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we can do more with the energy that we've been given in different areas of our life and in different areas of our birth chart. That way we're not just confined to Moon in the 8th house. You know, if we can separate it, we can go, okay, that's giving Moon energy, and oh, that's giving 8th house energy, and we can do more with that knowledge elsewhere, okay? So with Moon, for me, Moon as an astrologer, it's always gonna show me the emotional fortitude of a person. It's gonna show me where this person will be the most comforted, what this person is seeking out in life that will comfort them, and what the relationship between this person and their mother was and what it is. You know, what's the dynamic that your mother nurtured you and healed you, or the lack thereof, you know, in certain placements. But it's gonna show me that relationship, and by that relationship with your mother, it's then gonna show me how you go out into the world and you relate with others. Because we learn a lot from our mothers, believe it or not, and how we interact with others and how we receive care and love and adoration or just relationships, period. We learn that from our mothers, and your moon is going to show me that dynamic. Okay, so and the moon is also going to show me where things could be very kind of topsy-turvy sometimes, how things kind of fluctuate. The moon rules the tides of the ocean, and what does the ocean do? They go up, they go down, right? So in this area, it shows me where things kind of fluctuate, where things could be hot and they could be cold, they could be present, they can be absent. And it just varies season to season, time to time. And the luminary will decide when that time is and when that time isn't, okay? Now, with the 8th house is all about other people's resources. You know, this is the taboo house within our birth chart. It's the things we keep secret. I like to say that the 8th house is the things that we do not talk about with our parents or at the dinner table. You know, we don't talk about sex, we don't talk about other people's money, we don't talk about debts, we don't talk about taxes, we don't talk about psychic things, we don't talk about the occult, we don't talk about conspiracy, we don't talk about any of those things with our parents at the dinner table. When we're at the dinner table, we talk about the light things, we talk about the, you know, the cavalier things, the evergreen things, but the 8th house are the things that you talk about with the people that get you and that know you and that you trust. That's what the 8th house is. It's that deep bonding. It's you and your best friend, you and your lover, you and the people that you really, really, really trust, that you guys go deep and you talk about those certain subjects that no one else gets, you know? But it's not that no one gets it, it's just that certain people make you feel comfortable enough to unload those layers that we all have. But this is the 8th house, and that's going to show me the types of people that you would want to unpack those deep layers with and bond on that deep soul level with, okay? And the 8th house is always going to be ruled by Scorpio, Pluto, and Mars. Now, no matter what planets or what sign is in your 8th house, because that will always change depending on the rising sign that you are, the default out of the packaging birth chart is always going, the 8th house is always going to be ruled by Scorpio, Pluto, and Mars, okay? So remember that. Okay? All right, so what happens when we take moon and we throw it into the 8th house? Moon in the 8th house is gonna give me someone who wants to be very, very deep within their relationships and just in life. These people are comforted by magic. They are comforted by the secrets of the world. These people are comforted and healed and transformed by things like astrology. This very video right here could be very healing for you. You scouring the internet for information on who you are and what this universe is could be something that is very comforting for you. This is also going to be someone who, you know, moon is already a psychic energy. Moon is already a very healing, nurturing energy. And when you throw it in the 8th house of kind of likewise energy of transformation and deep psychicness, this person can be very psychic. This person could probably know what other people's needs are. You know on a deep guttural level what other people need and what will heal others emotionally. And you could be the very person that can do that for other people. You could be someone that your mother was probably also like this too. Your mother was probably someone who you could go to and be just as raw and as real with and just very emotional with. And you and your mother probably went through a lot of intense situations together, but there is a very deep bond with you and your mother. Your mother was someone who was very deep. She was probably very intense. She was someone that probably was very powerful in her own right. You know, she didn't take any mess. And you are someone that now, because your mother was like that with you, you don't expect anything different from others. You go out and you're like, why is everybody so fake? Like, why is everybody so fake? No one's real. Nobody wants to tell anyone what's going on. Nobody wants to tell anyone like what's on their heart or what's on their soul. You're gonna be like that. You're gonna be looking and searching and yearning for people to have relationship with that are the same way, that are very just like deep and emotional. You're going to be a very deep psychic emotional person, and you're going to be like that with other people. Without people even opening that door to you, you're going to be able to see into the depths of other people's worries and woes, and you will know what can transform people emotionally on an emotional level. If this sounds like you, can you let me know that? Can you let me know if you are someone who sometimes feels very psychic? Do you feel like your emotional life also goes through very many transformations? Do you feel that in your life from birth to adulthood, or from birth until now, you've gone through many maybe emotional betrayals? You've probably gone through things that hurt you to your core, and because it hurt you to your core, maybe you've hardened, or you've wizened, or you've learned more things about what this universe is through the traumas that have been inflicted on you. And because of that, although you are the same, your emotional center is different. Who you are and how your outlook on the world and how you feel about the world could have changed over time. How you feel about everything could change over time, very many times. You probably go through so many emotional transformations within your life, for good and for bad. And these things can fluctuate, because remember, the moon is a point in your life that goes up, it goes down. You are also someone that can benefit a lot from other people's resources and other people's money. You are also going to probably, most likely, benefit from a mother's inheritance. You probably have a woman in your life, a grandmother, a mother, a mothering figure, a woman who is almost like a mothering figure, who probably will pass down an inheritance to you, or will give you an inheritance. This really gives me the energy of someone who can be like a bruja, or a curandera, or a these are Spanish words for like a magic healer. You are going to be someone who uses probably herbs or the stars to heal others. You're going to use these occult things to heal, and that is what a bruja is, or a curandera. I think that those are the right words, but I hope that that's the right word. It's the Spanish word for a woman, a medicine woman is what I'm saying. A medicine person, a medicine healer who does things with medicine, but it's not traditional medicine. It's not like, I mean, it could be, but that's not where my intuition goes. I feel like traditional medicine would be moon in the 6th house, but moon in the 8th house gives me more magical medicine. It's more psychic medicine. It's not the traditional mainstream conventional medicine. It's more psychic medicine. Things like this. This video could be psychic medicine for you, and you could offer things like this for other people, whether it be through prayer, through spell work, through what is that? That practice of using herbs and using natural remedies for healing, Ayurvedic, something like that. I know it's in my brain, but I can't pronounce it right now. But you could be someone that is like that. If this sounds like you, can you let me know if this is you? Are you someone who is comforted by very deep bonds? If it's not deep, you don't want it. If you don't have deep friends, you don't want them. If you can't get deep or on that level of someone, or unpack those layers of your soul with somebody, goodbye, see ya. Like, that is how you determine who the one is for you when you are going to marry, or when you decide someone can be your friend or not. It's if they can get on that level with you and talk about the moon and the stars and our souls together, then they are a real friend. They're a real person that you deem worthy of you opening up to them. But this is where your soul is. This is where your emotions are. Your emotions are in the deep layers of life and in the universe. But with this placement, the only motivation or inspiration that I have for you, because I feel like this is a very solid placement for me. I'm not channeling anything that really needs help. But what I could say is that you probably have gone through a lot of emotional betrayals in your life. You probably have gone through a lot of traumatic events in your life that trigger you to your emotional core. And the only thing that I can say to that is to rely on your psychic forces, to rely on your knowing that you are always going to be okay within this universe. You are. And because you know, it's because you are meant to know so much more. These things happen to you because you are meant to know so much more. When I sit down with people or I talk to people, the most interesting stories, the most interesting people that I'm sitting across the table from are the people that have a story of a time that they went through something, and because they went through something and they thought they weren't going to get through it, then all of a sudden this thing happened and that thing happened, and then they did it and now they're here. Those are the people that when they talk to me, I'm eating my meal and I'm like, tell me more, like, and they're interesting. The ones that I sit down at the table with and they've got nothing to say because they've never gone through anything. Do you know how boring that is? Do you know how boring those people are when they've got nothing to offer because their life is perfect, or they've been saved in a life where they've not gone through anything? That is so, for a lack of a better word, that's so whack. That's so whack. And so understand that you are going through these things because it is gonna make you such a well-rounded emotional person. You are gonna be the most emotional intelligent person. You are gonna be someone who is the most dynamic and the most strong and the most psychic and the most just someone of value, depth, and interest. And that is what this world wants from you. And it just so happens that the way the universe does that is to give its strongest soldiers the hardest test. And so if you have gone through things where you feel people have betrayed you or let you down emotionally, or you go through these intense situations or these intense rebirths in your life, know that they're not happening just to happen. They're happening because when you finally sit down with people and you talk to them, you're gonna be such a dynamic force. You're going to be such a healing force for other people. You're going to be able to pull out wisdoms from your own life and your own recollections of what has gone and happened to you, that you are able to help and heal others on such a deep level. And what a gift that is, you know? So don't get down and be like, oh my God, like I've gone through this, me and my mom have gone through that, like what is going on? No, it's just gonna make you such a dynamic and interesting, loving person. And that is what it's about. It's about making you one of the salts of the earth and making you someone that is very connected to this universe. And don't ever run away from that placement, and don't ever think that placement is something wrong. It's something that is very good. And so for my moon in the 8th housers, continue to express the magic that you have, continue to be the psychic healers that we need, and continue to be the real people that we need on the planet, you know, because we need you. But yeah, that was my video. If you guys have a different placement that you want me to cover and motivate you on, just write down in the comments what your unique placement could be. Also, I want you to tell me what your sign is in moon in the 8th house, okay? Tell me the sign that your moon on the 8th house is, and that would help me help you, and I can write back to you what that could be for you specifically, because this is a general video and there's no way that I could hit every nail on the head for everyone out there in the world watching this video, okay? So if you tell me the sign, that could help me clue in as to exactly what you could be experiencing with your specific placement. And I'll just write back 2 little sentences on what you could be experiencing with that specific sign of the moon in the 8th house for you. But yeah, I really hope that you guys got some inspiration and some clarity within this moon in the 8th house. An inheritance is coming from a woman, and you can probably really just know, you probably already know that, but yeah, that was the video. I will see you on the next one. Y'all have a great day. Bye. The moon in the 9th house, okay? Moon in the 9th house is gonna give me someone who is very comforted by the higher knowledge and the higher learnings of this world. You know, they are probably someone who also is very comforted by travel. They love to explore, and they love to excavate, and they love to go and mingle with different cultures of the world. But before we go ahead and really unpack and dive deep into that aspect, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we are better able to do more with the knowledge that we've been given if we separate it than we are if we just keep it together and we just like, oh, moon in the 9th house, okay, goodbye. But if we separate it, we can go, okay, the moon does this and the 9th house does that, and we can do more with those individual knowledge and teachings. That way when these things come up in different areas of our life, or in the birth charts, or we see them on our friends' co-stars, or we see them in our friends' charts, we can decipher what they mean, okay? So now with the moon is always going to give me, as an astrologer, it's going to show me the emotional fortitude of a person. It's going to show me where this person will be emotionally comforted by, and what this person is out searching in the world that will comfort them. It's that specific point and placement in the birth chart that will show me where this person will be comforted and what will comfort them the most. For some it's money, for some it's family, for some it's fame, for some it's nurturing and deep relationships. But the moon will point me in that direction of where that person will be comforted. And the moon is also going to show me the dynamics that were happening with you and your mother when you were growing up. What is the dynamic in the present with you and your mom? How do you and your mom get along, and how did your mom nurture you and care for you and love on you? And now when you go out in the world, you are that same way with other people, and you indirectly or directly are like that with other people. This is how you relate now, because your mother was the first touch. Your mother was the first relationship that you ever had. And so that is the programming of your emotional center and your emotional relation with other people. Okay, so that's the moon. And also the moon is also about healing. It's about nurturing. It's about sometimes psychic energy, and it's also going to show me where things fluctuate in an area of your life. All right, where things could go up and down, or things could be hot and cold, because the moon is the quickest luminary within our sky, and it can fluctuate, and things could be up one day and then down the other in certain areas of your life wherever the moon is pointing to. All right, now with the ninth house is all about your higher learning. It's about your education. It's about your father. It's about your travels, you traveling around. And that is because the ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius, and it's ruled by Jupiter. And that being said, Jupiter is luck, right? So this is also your luck house. Where do you get your luck from? Who and what is lucky for you? This is your luck house, how to activate it. And there are certain things within the ninth house that will show me where you get lucky, how you get lucky, and your travels, and your father more specifically, because your father was your first guru. Your father was your first teachings. Whether you have a father or not, this will also show me that. It's going to show how your father taught you. Your father is your first guru. Okay, now what happens when we take the moon and we throw it into the ninth house? This is going to show me, I don't know why I just get single father or single mother. It just shows me like your mother or your father took on both roles in your life as far as teaching you things. It could be that. It could also be where your mother or your father, as a single mother or single father, they taught you a lot of things. They had to take on two roles in one person, in one body, and was either the single mother or the single father to you, and they had to teach you what your father couldn't teach you because they were absent, or they had to teach you what your mother couldn't teach you because they were gone or absent. And I don't know why automatically just like something came in me and was like single father, single mother. All right, now this could also be someone who is emotionally comforted by philosophy. You could be emotionally comforted by getting a good education, or being someone who is very learned and scholarly. You are also maybe someone who aims to heal others or relate with others in the form of religion or spirituality. You could be a very spiritual person, and this is how you find healing. This is how you find comfort. Even videos like this could heal you and comfort you because you want to know about the higher meaning of life and philosophy. And with Sagittarius ruling this house, it can take on a spiritual flair. Spirituality probably really comforts you. You probably could be in any denomination of religion, but religion and spirituality, they really comfort you. And this is also an area of your life where you can heal others, and you are healed by religion. You can go through really and this could go up and down. Again, this could go up and down. Things could fluctuate. It could be moments where you are the best student, right? And then there could be the moments where like you don't care about school at all. This could be moments where religion was very important to you, and then there could be moments where it's just not at all. You don't care about that. But your mother is also probably very far away from you. Your mother is probably also someone who taught you a lot as far as philosophy. She's probably from a different land than the one that you are currently residing in. Your mother is probably also far away from you, maybe in a different country, or just far away. You're probably far away from your mother. This gives me far off lands, far off travels, or immigrant, things like that. Immigrant, person that is from a different place. Your mother is from a different place and was probably someone who just gave you a lot of information on what life is. She was probably someone who's very religious and just very educational oriented. She was someone who was like, education is very important to us. We take education very seriously, and your mother was like this with you. She was probably very adventurous, very philosophical, very she wanted you to be very good at school and to know what you need to know about the world. And if that's not so, it could just mean that she is from a different country. You guys are from a different country, and she wanted to teach you the cultures of her country and the things that she's from and the things that she likes. And yeah, but for the most part, you're gonna be someone that is comforted by getting on a plane and going somewhere far. If you could travel and just, you know, learn about other people's cultures and other people's things and other people's foods and other people's culture, you are comforted by that. You are comforted by a good vacation. You are comforted by freedom. You love to just get on a plane and go do something or learn about new things comforts you. And I know this sounds weird, but college was probably comforting to you as well. Like you going away for college and being in a dorm and just like learning these new things was probably very comforting for you. And it is also an area of your life. I just really feel like you are someone that uses religion to heal others and to heal yourself. You really want to take the higher learnings of the world, and this could give me doctor. You probably learned a lot of philosophy and teachings within college that now you use to go out and you heal others with, right? Like this could give me doctor energy or surgeon energy, a preacher even. You could be a preacher, someone who, again, they want to take the philosophies they've learned, right? That's a preacher, and it's in a spiritual house, and now they go and with the philosophies that they know, they're out preaching and teaching, and through those preachings and teachings, you help heal others. You could be a teacher, a preacher. You could just use and like philosophy and religion to heal you. You really love traveling as well. But if this sounds like you, can you let me know? Did you have a single mother or father? And did they have to take on both roles in one body and probably had to teach you a lot of things? Did you have a father that had very caring, mother-like energy? That could be it too. You probably had a father who had very mother-like energy and was very nurturing to you, very just easygoing with you, and you knew that if something went wrong, you could go to your father and your father would nurture you and heal you back to health. Are you someone that loves traveling? Write in the comments below. Also, let me know while you're at it the sign that your moon in the 9th house is in, because then that would help me to really clue into what you could be experiencing with this placement. Because again, this is a general video, and I'm channeling these messages and these insights for everyone out there that is on YouTube, you know, and there's no way that I could hit the nail on the head for every single person out there in the world. So this is a more general video of what you could be experiencing as a whole. But if you really want me to zoom in, just write down what your sign on the moon in the 9th house is, and I'll write back 2 little sentences on what you could be experiencing with that placement. All right, but if this is you, let me know that as well, okay? But yeah, my biggest inspiration and motivation for you is to continue to be that wanderlust that you are. I know that you feel that there's a greater sense and a greater message out there for you in the world. There's a greater teaching out there in the world. I just feel like you are someone that you're just like, I just want to know what this life is about. I want to be on a plane. I want to go to the ashram. I want to go to India, and like I just want to be with the monks and just understand what this life is about. I know that you are probably very comforted by that, and you are also someone that is very freedom and adventurous orientated, and continue to be that. Continue to really search and go out there and be adventurous and know all about the truth. You are comforted by the truth. You love truth and honesty. If people are true and honest with you, you are true and honest with them, and that is the biggest thing that is important to you. You are someone who has a lot of integrity and honor, and you want to be as truthful and honorable as possible, and so continue to be that way. Don't let or allow people to stifle you emotionally either. Like if you feel constricted or you feel like people are trying to keep you normal and say, no, you need to settle down. Why are you always on a plane? Why are you always on a train? Why do you always want to go? Why do you always want to leave? this is where you find your luck. Little do they know, this is how you find your luck in your life. When you follow that gut instinct in your heart, in your emotions, when your emotions say, it's time to go, I need you to go, because that's where the lucky things in life will find you. This is where you find God, and this is where you will find emotional balance and emotional happiness. So continue to be that way. Continue to be the adventurous spirit that you are, and only good things in life can come from that, all right? Well, I really do hope that you guys got some inspiration and some encouragement from this video. If you'd like me to do any other videos per your unique placement within your birth chart, just write it in the comments below, and I'll add that to my queue, and I'll see if I can get that up and running for you guys. But other than that, I will see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a great day. Love you. Bye. Into Moon in the 10th house. Now, this is gonna give me someone whose career probably fluctuates, and whose career and goals fluctuates from time to time. You know, sometimes they could be at the top of their field, and other times they could be at the bottom. But I do know that this could be someone whose emotional center is caught up in their career. Whether they are ascending that ladder quick enough, or they are doing a good job in their career, will determine if this person clocks out from their job and is happy with their friends, happy with their family, happy within their day. But before we go ahead and unpack that very deep aspect, let's go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we can do more with the information that we've been given, okay? So that way when we see Moon playing out in the world and in our friends, we can go, okay, that's giving Moon energy. And when we see the 11th house, when we see the 10th house in the world, we can go, okay, that's giving 10th house energy, okay? Now, with Moon, as an astrologer, for me, the Moon is always gonna show me where the emotional fortitude of a person is. It's gonna show me where this person is searching for their emotional happiness. You know, for some people it's fame, for some people it's money, for some people it's family, for some people it's just simply being at home and having a solid foundation. And the Moon is going to show me where those different areas are for you. What is that thing that you are searching for the most that will make you the happiest? What determines your happiness? What if this thing fails, or if this thing goes right, or if you're being given this thing or not? What will determine your truest happiness in this life, okay? And it's also gonna show me where things kind of fluctuate, where things are hot, where things are cold, where things are up, where things are down, because the Moon is the quickest luminary within our sky. And because it's so quick and it changes from week to week, from day to day, it could be up one day, down the other, and it really influences us that quickly, okay? Now, the Moon is also nurturing energy. It's also psychic healing energy as well. And it is also gonna show me the relationship between you and your mother. How did your mother nurture and care for you emotionally, or the lack thereof? And now, by way of that, now you go out in the world and are the same way with other people, okay? So that's gonna show me that energy of who's your mother? How did your mother treat you in your home growing up? The Moon is gonna show me that. Now, with the 10th house, the 10th house is gonna be ruled by Capricorn and Saturn. This is a very karmic house, believe it or not. A lot of people don't realize that, but the 10th house is a very karmic house, because who we become ultimately in the world is karmic. You know, when we were kids and your teacher asked you, who do you want to be? The first thing you thought of was that thing, that it's like an ideal. It's like, I want to be this in the world. I want to be that. It's on my soul to be this. It's on my soul to be that, right? And so that's why it's so karmic, because everyone can't be a singer. Everyone can't be an astrologer. Everyone isn't meant to be this or that. Everyone is supposed to be what they are due to karma, okay? And the hard work and discipline that we put in to become the thing that we ultimately are. So the 10th house is ruled by Capricorn, and it's ruled by Saturn, and it is a very karmic house in who we become in this life, believe it or not. Some people can walk outside and things could happen, right? It just happens, right? And that's because it's karma. Karma will find you and it will pluck you and say, you are meant to be this, you are meant to be that. Your life will go in certain directions without you really navigating the shit. And you'll be like, damn, I just ended up here and I'm this. Like, oh, I guess I'm a doctor now. Oh, I guess I'm a nurse now. Like, I'm being funny, but believe it or not, that's how it goes. Like, haven't you ever heard of the people that are at the mall, right? And someone just comes out of nowhere and is like, hey, have you ever thought about being an actor or model? And those people are now the most famous people in the world. That's because of their karma and their past life karma on what they did. And now in this life, it just happened, right? But anyway, the 10th house is all about your midheaven, your career, who you are meant to be in this life, and it is a karmic house. Now, with moon in the 10th house, this is gonna give me someone who could be a healer in their career. You could be someone that does something in the world that heals people. This could give me a doctor, someone who works with medicine, someone who works with mothers, someone who, you could be a gynecologist or someone who works with mothers specifically. Like I'm the name of the type of doctor that gives birth or helps births out leaves me right now. You could be a doula, you could be a midwife, you could be anyone that maybe helps mothers and heals, and just in general, healing and medicine is what you will probably go into and who you are seen as in the world. You are seen as someone who knows about medicine, who is all about healing, who nurtures people in your profession, okay? That's the first thing. Now, the second thing is, with moon in the 10th house, you are gonna be someone that, whether you are doing good or not good in your job, or the relationships that you have in your job, or pleasing your bosses, or if something went wrong in your job or your career, you're gonna be someone that, if things are not going right, you are gonna be so off. You're gonna come home and you're probably gonna be with your husband or your wife or your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and they're gonna be like, hey, like, let's go and like, let's get our mind off of work. Let's get our mind off of your career. And you're gonna be like, if something is wrong at your job, all bets are off. You're gonna be off emotionally. You can't separate your emotions from your career. Your career is the first point in your life where if it's not right, you're off. You're just, don't talk to me. I need a moment. I need to go back to work tomorrow morning. I need to fix what's going on. I need to make sure that I am ascending that ladder. I need to make sure that whatever the problem is at work is fixed and that it's okay, and I'm in the right eyes with my bosses, because if I'm not, you're just not gonna be yourself. You are not gonna feel good. And that is just how it is. And I know that you'll probably try, and you'll probably be like, oh my God, like, maybe I can take my mind off of it. Maybe I can do self-care. You're gonna be someone that is very, very, very emotionally focused on your career, and they're one and the same for you. You're really gonna try to separate it, but it just is what it is. But I would really recommend you trying to just do good at your career, and you will feel better. You know, I'll have some definite motivation for you at the end of this video on how to really heal that and what you could do to alleviate that. But anyway, now, your mother's relationship with you is that she really wanted you to be successful. You probably had a mom, excuse me, you probably had a mom who was very goal-oriented. She wanted you to be successful. Your mother from birth was like, you ain't gonna be no dummy. No, you are gonna go to the best college, you're gonna go to the best school, you're gonna get straight A's, you are going to be valedictorian, you are going to be in one of these clubs, you're gonna be the president of your school, the valedictorian. Your mother was very goal-oriented. She was probably someone who was a little cold to you, and she was a little like, you know, it's all about the business. It's all about business. It's all, you could be someone that's in a family business, or your mother ran a family business, but I know that she was very goal-oriented with you. She was all about her business and you being the best. She wanted you to be the best, and she wanted you to, she probably also has very traditional values, and she probably instilled traditional values within you. But I do know that you probably to this day feel that in order to impress your mother, in order to be in good standings with your mother, you have to show her some kind of degree. You got to show her some type of success. When you go home, you got to say, "Oh mom, I got promoted. Oh mom, I guess what? I'm the new VP. I'm the new CEO." And then by way of that, your mother will go, "Oh baby, oh that's so good, my baby, oh." You see what I mean? Like, that's gonna be the relationship with your mother, because the moon is in the highest part of the chart, and that means that your mom really expected you to be the best. You could even have a mom that would have you, I don't want to say compete, but she wanted the ideal family, and amongst her brothers and sisters, she was someone that probably wanted you guys to be the model family members. You know, you guys would be the ones at the dinners, and she just really wanted you guys to be successful. Success is the name of the game with you and the relationship with your mother. Let me know if that's true for you. Did you have a mother that was a little cold and wanted you to be successful? And now that you are successful, or when she sees that you are trying to be successful, that's when you get the love from your mother. Could you let me know if that's you or not? Or did you just have a very successful mother? Your mother was probably very successful. Let me know. But yeah, also while you're at it, could you let me know if this video resonates for you? And while you're at it, let me know in the comments, are you someone with moon in the 10th house that your emotional center is all around your career and how well you are at your career, and if you're doing well in the eyes of your bosses, and that would make you the happiest within your day and just in life? Let me know that right now. And while you're at it, let me know the sign that your moon in the 10th house is under, because remember, this is our general videos and there's no way that I could channel these messages for everyone out in the world that's watching these videos, because there's just no way. But what would help me to help you is if you wrote down the sign that your moon in the 10th house is in, and I'll write back to you what you could be experiencing with that specific moon in the 10th house sign. All right, I'll write back 2 little sentences to you on what you could be experiencing. But yeah, my biggest advice to you though, my biggest inspiration to you, my moon in the 10th housers, is that your career is gonna fluctuate. If the universe is universing, like the universe be universing, like I say, the things are gonna fluctuate in your career, and it's gonna attack your center, it's gonna attack your core. And understand that these are programmings from your mother. Your first inkling of love, your first inkling of nurturing and someone looking at you and saying you are worthy was dependent on if you were doing the right thing, if you were successful, if you were getting straight A's, if you brought home certificates of the spelling bees. And I want you to understand that that is a version of the truth, but that is not the full truth. Understand that things are going to fluctuate in your career, and that should never attack your worthiness or your emotional happiness or joy or sadness. Whether you are successful, whether you are going after your goals and your dreams quick enough or slow enough, that should never be the be all end all, okay? And what I would suggest is to try to undo that programming a little bit. Probably try to have a relationship with your mother that's beyond you being successful and you showing her achievements that you have in your life. Maybe try to go home and really talk to your mom and say, hey mom, like, I just want to let you know this is the way I'm feeling, and this is how I feel, and I want to know you beyond what I'm achieving. And let her know that although you are still going to be successful, although you understand you need to achieve great things in this life, let her know that, you know, you love and you respect her, but you would just like that same love and respect in return, without having to feel like you need to achieve so much in life in order to get her attention or her love from you. Because that programming, believe it or not, is programming. Although it's good, it can be bad in other areas of life, right? Where now you feel like unless you're successful, you don't deserve love from a romance. You don't deserve care from other people. You don't want to go out with your friends. You don't want to be seen. You don't want to be like held unless you are being successful. And so to alleviate some of that pressure on your soul, understand it starts with your mom, okay? And know that you are worthy, whether you choose to rule the world and become president, or you just decide to be the mother of the year. You are still worthy of love and care and adoration from not only your mother, but from other people, and you deserve a happy life and a very solid emotional state within you, okay? So I really do hope that you got some inspiration and some clarity within this amazing placement. Continue to be the successful, driven person that you are. Continue to follow that gut instinct to know when that next promotion is gonna lie, or what you need to do within your career to become a little bit more successful. Continue to follow that, continue to be that. You can be a great healer and a great medicine person, and someone who is seen as someone that can heal and help a lot of people in this world. So use that, all right? And continue to be your best. I really do appreciate you, and I will see y'all on the next video, all right? Y'all have a great day. Bye. To moon in the 11th house. Now, moon in the 11th house is gonna give me someone who really has big dreams for the future. Sometimes they may fluctuate, but depending on if they are making headway to the dreams that they have for the future will depend on if they in the present feel good or not. They are also someone who with their friends are going to take on a very nurturing, mothering role. They're going to be very dependent on if the relationships with their friends are good or not, okay? If their friends are off or the relationship with their friends is off, they are gonna be off. But before we go ahead and unpack that very deep aspect, we're gonna go ahead and separate the aspects. That way we can do more with the information we've been given and we're not just confined to moon in the 11th house, okay? So with moon in astrology, for me as an astrologer, I always see moon as the emotional fortitude of the person. It's gonna show me where this person is yearning out in the world and in their life, what they would most be comforted by, what they would most find happiness and joy, what would make this person the happiest in life and just makes them happiest in general. And this area of life, wherever moon is in, will fluctuate. You know, it'll be hot, it'll be cold. So depending on if that area of life is good, their mood will be good. And if that area of their life is bad, their mood will be bad, right? So that is gonna show me that aspect or that principle, that theme of the moon in astrology. It's also going to show me where the mom is in astrology as well. It's going to show me the dynamic you have with your mom, the flavor of the relationship and the dynamic that your mom treated you as a kid. How did she raise you? What was the dynamic? And like, how did she treat you emotionally so that now when you go out in the world, without you really even knowing it, this is how you relate with everyone else. You expect everyone to kind of give you the same flavor and the same vibe that your mom kind of programmed in you without you really even knowing it. And this kind of shows me that. So with the 11th house is always, always, always ruled by Aquarius and Uranus and Saturn, because the default out of the packaging birth chart is always going to be ruled, the 11th house is always going to be ruled by Aquarius and Saturn and Uranus, okay? Now, no matter what planets and sign is in your respective birth chart, just know that the underlying layer of the birth chart just by default is always Aquarius and Saturn and Uranus, okay? And this is the house of your dreams. This is the house of your goals. I don't mean like bedtime dreams. I mean like your goals, like your dreams for the future. Where do you want to end up in 20 years? Or from you working hard at your job, this is that house. By the fruits of the labor within your job, this is where you end up in life, okay? When you retire and it's time for you to kick back, this is that house. This also shows me the communities that you find yourself in, the dynamic of the groups of people that you consider friends and the people that you want to be around, okay? As far as when you are out, or just the hobbies that you do in life, and just these are the communities, the friends, the people that you want to be around, the types of people that you find yourself in and that you are attached to, the groups of people, okay? This is also your future money gains as well. Now, with moon, what happens when moon goes into the 11th house? When moon goes into the 11th house, this is going to show me that your emotional center, your emotional fortitude, your emotional dependency is caught up on if you are chasing your goals for the future. If you are making headway in the dreams you consider for yourself or that you want for yourself, then you are going to be happy within your day. You know, if you've done something in your day that you feel is getting you further or closer to the dreams and goals that you have in your life, you're going to be good. You know, you're going to feel all right about yourself. You're going to be like, okay, like I'm doing good. I did that thing. I did these 3 things, and that's going to set me up. If like you are seeing that within your day you are slacking or you're lacking, or you see in your life, you know, in the past 3 months I haven't really been doing really good with my investments, or my 401k is failing, or like, you know, then that's gonna really affect your mood. You're not gonna feel very good. This is also gonna be someone that those dreams for the future are gonna fluctuate. Again, you doing things for the future, it's going to be some times where it's like it's going to be 6 months where you are doing everything possible to build that future life that you want, and you're going to be doing everything to a T, right? And then you're going to look up, and then a week later you're just not doing anything. Or you can call up your investment bankers and they'll be like, hey, this isn't trending, this isn't good, like things aren't looking too hot right now. And then you call up a day later and they're like, wait, everything's actually good. And that again will determine how you feel in your present day. If things are looking bright and things are looking good for the future, you're gonna feel good about yourself, okay? This is also gonna show me someone who with your mother could be far away. Your mother could be someone who was very ingenious or very, she was also the same way where she probably wasn't very emotional with you. She was probably more like a friend to you and was very just like unemotional and wanted you to be the genius that you are, have a lot of foresight. She wanted you to be someone that if you were showing your innovativeness, if you were showing her your genius, if you were showing her your goals for the future, then she's happy with you. She was probably someone that if you went to her and was like, hey mom, so in the future I'm gonna be this and we're gonna have that and I'm gonna set you up for this and I'm planning right now to do this so that in the future, then she would relate with you. She'd go, okay, yeah, really? Okay, yeah, keep going. It's like that. It's like she wasn't very emotional, but she did relate with you whenever you were showing your plans for the future, or you were being very genius or being very smart or being very goal oriented. That's when she gave you love and adoration, and relationship is when you were carrying out those characteristics. Other than that, she was probably just very like, her mind was on other things. She was probably detached and her mind was just on other things, okay? She was probably had a lot of children where she couldn't just give you the attention. She had to give everyone attention, and because of that, she seems detached. You know, she seems like someone that can't give a lot of emotion because there's a lot of you guys. But anyway, that's Moon in the 11th house. I feel like your dreams are going to also fluctuate. You're going to change over time on what you deem important for your future. You probably had so many different dreams in your life on what you want to end up as, or what you want to become, or what you want to achieve in your life. And that is because the moon changes and it transforms. Now with moon here, you are also going to be someone, my biggest advice to you is to try to maybe come up with something like a product or an invention that will heal the collective. This is a very good placement for someone that can invent something or is attached to a big organization that is aiming to heal the population. You could be attached to a really big company that is trying to heal the public. This could be pharmaceuticals. This could be anything that you're trying to heal the collective or do something with medicine, and you're attached to a really big company. You could be involved in jobs like that, friendships like that, careers like that, okay? But yeah, if this sounds like you, can you let me know if this sounds like you or not? Was your mom someone who really wanted to pull out the genius within you and was always asking you, so what do you want to do in the future? Like, and when you showed her that, that's when she got on that same level with you. Are you someone that carries a lot of emotional weight with your friends and you are a nurturing force for your friends? You are someone who seeks to heal your friends, and if you can't do that, or if you don't have friends that feel like kind of like family to you, or if you can't or if things are going wrong with your friends or the organizations that you're a part of, then your mood is off. You know, you're all about the group. You're all about the group consciousness, and if you can't be a part of the group, you feel off. Is that you? Also, while you're at it, while you're letting me know if that tracks you or not, let me know the sign that your moon in the 11th house is in, and that would help me like pinpoint what exactly you could be experiencing, because again, these are very general videos, and there's no way that I could, in this little 10-15 minute video, that I could pinpoint what everyone could experiencing with their different placements and different points within their chart. But if you let me know what your moon in the 11th house sign is in, I could give you 2 sentences on what you could be experiencing specifically within your chart, okay? So yeah, I feel like that's moon in the 11th house. You're gonna go through ups and downs with your friends. You are going to go, your mother's probably far away, or your mother's probably just far away emotionally, and those things will change. Those things will be hot and cold. You will have trends and times where your money looks good for the future and your goals look great for the future, and there's gonna be times where you're just like, oh my God, the future's looking real bleak. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know how I'm gonna maintain. I don't know, but everything ultimately will pan out for the better. I would really, really highly suggest and encourage you and motivate you to try to come up with a product with a lot of friends or like-minded individuals, right? And do something that can heal the public. If you can find yourself in a position or a community or a group of friends that are plotting and scheming on how to heal people or bring something to the table or invent something that can help heal the collective, it will make you a lot of money. I promise you, because this is a money house. And I'm telling you, if you do that with that, if you take this advice, do it, and I bet you will become a millionaire. And if you do, you better circle back on this video and break me off a piece, yeah? But I don't really have much motivation for this placement. The only thing I can say is to try not to place so much value on the future. Try not to live in the present. You deserve to be happy today, and don't put so much stock and emotional stock in how your friends are doing or what the group is doing or if your friends like you or not, if the relationships with your friends and the groups and the organizations that you are a part of are okay with you or not, or if they are going good or not. You deserve to kind of be a little bit separate from that. That way you can be a person that exists in the now and are better able to cherish what you have now, because believe it or not, in the future you're gonna look back on moments like this and go, damn, you know, I had it made. I just was so paranoid and so emotionally futuristic and just so, my mind was so focused on the future that now that I'm here, I'm looking back and the best of times have passed me. Like, I'm like, you get what I'm saying? So live in the present, try to find things in your now that will satisfy you, that will bring joy and comfort to you. And through that, you will find that you are able to really see what the future is gonna hold for you and where the trends are and what could be good for you or not. But yeah, I really do feel that this placement could be someone who is always focusing on the future. And if the future doesn't look the way that you feel it should look, or if you're not doing things in the present, then your present is off. And I don't think that you deserve that. I don't think anyone deserves that. But yeah, that was my video. If you have a different placement that is not the moon in the 11th house within your chart that you would like for me to cover, let me know and I will do a video for that for you guys, okay? Just write it down in my comments what your placement is with the moon in the 11th house with your sign, and then in that same comment, just write what video you would like me to do in the future per a different placement within your chart, and I'll be sure to get that up and running for you guys. But I really do hope that this video gave you some inspiration and some clarity within your unique placement within your birth chart. You know, this is a very good placement for big gains in the future, and foreign affairs will do you some real good, okay? But I will see y'all on the next one, all right? Y'all have a great day. Bye. Today we're gonna get into moon in the 12th house. Now, moon in the 12th house is gonna give me the energy of someone who is very psychic and probably knows the energy and the moods of others, but may not know the mood of themselves, you know, until they are behind closed doors. But before we go ahead and dive deep into that aspect and unlock some secrets of it, let's go ahead and separate the aspect. That way we can do more with the knowledge that we've been given, okay? And we're not just confined to moon in the 12th house. Now, moon in astrology, for me as an astrologer, is gonna show me the emotional fortitude of the person, where this person is yearning for nurturing and care and their emotions, and where in life they will be the most comforted by, or what would make them the happiest emotion-wise and in their emotional world, okay? The moon is also gonna signify healing, it's gonna signify nurturing, it's gonna signify your mother, it's gonna signify the relationship with your mother, how your mother treated you growing up, and it's gonna be the dynamic between you two. It's also gonna show me, the moon, it's also going to show me where things may fluctuate for you, where things could be up, where things could be down, where things could be hot, where things could be cold, because the moon is a very quick luminary within our sky, and depending where that quick luminary is, things will change very quickly and it'll be very up and down with you. You know, if you look up at the sky at night, the moon is always changing. You know, the phases of the moon are so quick that it changes literally nightly. So this is where your moods are going to change with that moon in a certain area of your life. And the moon is also very psychic energy as well. So the 12th house is the house of loss, it's the house of hidden things, it's the house of escapism, it's the house of faraway lands, or where things are far away, you know, where things go to die, or where things are lost on you, where you aren't really conscious. It's the house of your bedtime dreams. You know, when you go to sleep and you dream, these are those types of dreams, okay? And this is going to be ruled by Pisces and Neptune. Now, no matter what sign and planet is in your 12th house, because that is always going to change depending on the rising sign of the person, know that the default out of the packaging birth chart is always going to be ruled by Pisces and Neptune, okay? And that is going to signify spirituality, dreams, escapism, things that are lost on you, things that you don't really get, you know, like you see it out in life and you play it, you see these things happen, but it's an area of your life where you just don't get it, because Neptune puts that veil over you. We're just like, I don't understand that, you know? So, but it's also a magical quality, a magical spiritual quality to this house. So what happens when we throw the moon in the 12th house? We are gonna get someone who probably feels things on a very deep psychic level, who is also very psychic and very intuitive, especially in their dream world. Their dream world can offer them prophetic visions, and they can feel certain things from their dream, right? They'll probably wake up and they won't really know what happened in the dream, but the dream will give them a sense that, okay, everything's gonna be all right, or okay, that dream, I don't know what went on in that dream, but that dream didn't sit right in my spirit. I feel off, you know? It's gonna show me that this person's mood is really good when they are far away from people. When they are behind closed doors or when they're hidden, their mood is probably the most centered or the most even keel. When they're just alone to themselves, that's when their emotions are the most even keel. When they get around people and they get around the world and stuff like that, they probably, their emotions probably get very permeated, because this could be a very sensitive person, a very psychic person. So they probably keep their emotions to themselves and are probably people who are psychic and know things, but they aren't very privy to the level in which they feel things, but they know that they can decipher these feelings when they go home and they are when they are at home and they're by themselves. Now, their homes could also be far away. They could be far away from home, or their mom could be far away from them. They could be someone that when they grew up, their mom was far away from them for whatever reason. Like maybe they lived in a different home or a different country, but they were removed from the mother. Like the mother was probably just not in the home. Or now in their adult life, it's the same dynamic where they are far from home, far from the mother. This is also someone, again, who can heal others through the emotional, intuitive natures that they have. They are, again, could be someone who is very highly psychic and is very highly intuitive, and through their intuition and through them being very psychic, they can heal others with their downloads, with their intuition. They are people that can nurture others through the downloads that they get and the insights that they have. These people can be very, very perceptive and very have the gift of foresight, and just be very, they're emotionally comforted by being alone with astrology. When they are alone with spirituality or astrology, or just alone into themselves and are able to decipher their feelings and decipher the inner workings of the universe, that's when they are the most comforted. That's when they feel the most at home, and they're just like, oh yes, like just give me the space to be and to breathe, and that's when you feel good. That's when you feel, but it's only when you're out and things become people try to get too enmeshed with you, or you just being out in general, your psychicness permeates that, like it absorbs that, and so you will feel off. You'll sometimes feel like you need to flee. Sometimes you'll feel like, I just need to be alone. Like, I don't know why everyone always wants to invite me out. Just leave me be. Sometimes you need to pick and choose when you go out, or sometimes you'll just be like, okay, let me just go out, because if I don't go out and I don't see my friends, they're gonna think I'm mad at them. But really, it's just that you probably know that when you are by yourself, to yourself, and you keep yourself and your emotions to yourself, that's when you feel the best. Or you're just gonna be someone that through spirituality and through escapism, or escaping in some shape or form, or being far away from your mom, you feel better, or like just being far away from family, you feel good. I know that sounds strange, but this could be that, where you being far away from the home you grew up in feels good to you. That feels right. It feels like, okay, I feel okay. I feel good not being at home. I'm okay with that. Or yeah, I would really say that your mom was probably a very spiritual figure. Your mom was someone who was also very psychic and very intuitive. Your mother was someone who you couldn't get anything by her, and people couldn't get anything by her either. And she really passed that down to you. She was someone that allowed you to be creative and allowed you to be nebulous and allowed you your space so that you could be just as psychic. You know, you probably see, if you look in your mind, you'll probably be like, yep, you're right. My mom does have a little bit of that, you know, woo-woo going on, and she is like that, or she's just very spiritual to the point where it surpasses spirituality. There's some, with this house, with moon in the 12th, it's really gonna mean that it's psychic level. It's psychic level spirituality, where spiritual is so potent and so concentrated that it breaks the bounds of just spirituality. It's like, okay, the mom was psychic and so are you. You're a very psychic person, and so was your mother. You probably inherited that from your mother. You probably have a very psychic relationship with your mother. But for the most part, you're gonna feel on a very deep level, and that very deep level is gonna require you to sometimes be distant and sometimes go and kind of hide away and be to yourself to decipher those feelings that are coming through you, because you intuit so naturally. You feel everything, and you feel the universe, you feel what's going on with people, and you can use those insights to really help people. And the biggest motivation that I can say for you is take that time. You know, don't feel bad that you can't be around a lot of people for a long period of time, or that you don't want to be as social as others. Don't feel bad, because you know at the end of the day that's protecting your spirit, your spiritual life, and your happiness is connected to you just being on your own and deciphering those things. I would really suggest getting a journal and just writing things down about how you feel and what life is and what life means to you, and that could really help you pinpoint exactly how you feel. Because sometimes when people ask you how you feel, you just are like, I'm good, I'm all right. How are you? You know, like, it's just you, because you're good, you're fine. Like, you don't really feel like there's anything going on, but really others could probably be like, no, he's feeling off, something's up, something's wrong. But you don't know that. You're not privy to that until you remove yourself. In order to get yourself, in order to feel how you feel and understand the litmus test of what you're going through, you need to be away. You need to be removed. You need to be hidden. And then that's when those feelings come up. I bet that you cry in private. It is probably very, 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 very rare that, unless you are with someone that you really feel comfortable with almost from birth, that I bet that you rarely cry in public. You rarely let your emotions out in public. You rarely let people know how you feel. You rarely let people know that vulnerable part of you. You rarely let people know that. You go home and you figure that out. That's between you and you. You and your emotions are you to yourself. If this sounds like you, let me know. Are you someone that keeps your emotions inside because you have a lot of them and you feel so connected to the universe? Are you someone that feels psychic and you probably can offer psychic healing for other people? You probably know what others need, and you probably can psychically intuit what others need on a psychic level. Are you that person? You probably heal people on a spiritual plane. Like, you are someone that by you being their friend, or them by being around you, you heal them on a spiritual level. You heal people on a spiritual, psychic level. You don't even have to say much, and even if you were to say something, you see and feel into the depths of people. It's almost like you can feel other people's feelings. But let me know if that's you. Let me know if this is you. And while you're at it, can you let me know the sign that your moon is in the 12th house? And I'll write back 2 little sentences on what you could be experiencing with your specific placement. Because remember, these are general videos, and there's no way that I could ever pinpoint everyone in the world's placement with just this little 12, 13-minute video. There's just no possible way, okay? So, but if you just wrote down what your sign on the moon in the 12th house is, I will write back what you specifically could be experiencing. I'll write back 2 little sentences on what that could be for you. But if this sounds like you, let me know, okay? But I really do hope that you got some clarity and some encouragement and motivation from this video. If you would like me to do a different video per another placement within your birth chart, just let me know, write it in my comments, and I will get that in the queue as a part of some videos that I can make for you guys. But until the next time, continue continue to be the psychic person that you are. You have such deep emotional connection to the universe, and don't feel bad about that. Don't feel bad that you can't be as social as others, because when you are social, listen, when you are around others, you being alone and to yourself makes you such a medicine for others. You are going to be such a spiritual light for others that you heal people without even knowing it, just by you being you, okay? So y'all have a great day, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.